How's everybody doing? This is Wilson Feliciano here at Meetings of the Minds with a special guest alongside of me. I have Keanah. Hello, Keanah. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm glad to see you. Keanah is the CEO of Small Business NJ. She prides herself in helping the community, but also helps small businesses grow in the state of New Jersey. Okay. Um, in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month, we want to be able to highlight people in the Latin community, okay, that put in the work, that are helping entrepreneurs, that are making moves. Now, can I ask you something, right? What motivated you to start building small business NJ and start helping small businesses?
I originally started it because the pandemic had everyone home. A lot of people got creative and different ways to make money. My sister was selling clothes, my friends were selling food, so I wanted to do something too. Everybody else around me was making money, and I'm like, what am I good at? I don't know how to do hair. I don't think I'm creative enough, to start something else. I don't know. So then I just promoted their stuff. And
Yeah,
then my sister's like, "Oh, you sold me out." Or, my friend is like, "You sold me out." So I'm like, "Okay, what about like getting everybody together?" Cuz I realized a lot of people were starting their businesses. So I'm like, "Let me get everybody together." And then I ended up doing that. And I didn't know that I swear I thought I was the first person like to start pop-ups. I didn't know that people were already doing that. And then I thought
yeah,
about it like I've been to flea markets before. It's probably the same thing,
yeah. I mean,
right? It's
it
just
has
like
the
indoor.
yeah, it has the resemblance of it.
So then when I did that, it was only gonna be like a one-time thing. I wanted to get everybody together, make it easy for them to support the small businesses that way. And then, they just kept asking for more. So I'm like, okay, okay. But I've always supported small businesses because my dad was a small business owner.
Yeah, and now and you know how important that would be for the people that have their businesses, right? Listen, that's I think that what you're doing for businesses is a good deed. Entrepreneurs and small business owners, while they're trying to push along their business, they go through their up and downs. Sometimes you don't know what they're actually going through. It's easy to put your dreams into fruition, right? Get the things rolling. But sometimes you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? And sometimes they need that push, right? And I believe that what you're doing by putting them in a platform and giving them the opportunity to showcase their talents and their business to the world, it's a beautiful thing to do, and I think that it gets, not that it's always getting overlooked, but in case that it is, I want to make sure that we don't overlook it. Okay, I want to give you your flowers because a lot of people are not getting up every day to do that for other businesses. It's almost like you don't have to do it. And to me, I see it that it's not about necessarily just the money, right? It's about you doing right by the people, because you saw how hard your father worked, right, for his business, and you want to be able to do the same for other people that don't have those opportunities or they don't have that support system, right? As a proud Hispanic member of the community, right, working with the black and brown community, how do you keep yourself motivated and how do you motivate others, right, and create a difference?
I like to focus on the kids. Like if I could be a role model to a kid and I can make a difference in their life, I just want to do that. So I really focus more on the kids in that sense.
To me, paying attention to the new generation and watching and reflecting back to how we were growing up when we were small kids, there's a lot of opportunities we didn't have at hand when we were growing up,
That is so
right?
true.
So you put yourself in those small little shoes and those little sneakers, right?
Yeah.
And those little dresses. And now you say, well, you know what? I didn't have this and I didn't have that when I was growing up. Now that I'm older and I understand, right?
Mhm.
I want to give them a light to see at the end of that tunnel. So, growing up in a Hispanic household comes with many elements like the food, music, and the culture. What are some of the good memories you enjoyed?
Oh my god, I don't even know where to start with that.
There's many, but you can only just think about one, right? Because there's so many.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's say like I think everybody has the same memory. Saturday morning, everybody's cleaning, and your mom has like the best playlist, right?
Very
And
true.
like, let's say like she's probably like already marinating the meat to
Mm.
cook, you know, so like you just have
Oh,
the smell, and then you smell like the mistolin, the everything. Like that is like something that
that's
I kind
part of
of
the
like want to
culture.
go to my mom's house on Saturday mornings just to
Yeah.
see if it's like if she's still like that. I'm sure she still does that sometimes.
It's
But she has an 8-year-old now.
it's a boy now, right?
Yeah, so he has like soccer practice on Saturday mornings. Like,
Yeah. I know there's like a specific feeling right now, right? Because it's their first boy, right?
I know, yes.
Yeah, I know you guys spoil him.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like it was so cool because my principal let me bring him in for bring your kid to work day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He had a blast.
So dope.
That's dope. And how old is he now?
He's 8.
He's 8 years old. What's his name?
Tiago.
Tiago. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Tiago.
That's a different name. I
His
don't know.
grandfather was Santiago.
Wow.
Yeah, so they took the son out.
Yeah.
It's dope. I like it.
So, as an optimistic person that you are, you have seen progress in the culture in the next generation to come. Is there room to grow? And what parts do you feel like we can grow in, right? Because we've seen our Spanish community from when we were growing up to what it is now, right? Um, what things you've seen that has changed, or what things can we actually kind of work on to take it to the next level?
We're way more open with mental health now.
Mm.
Before, like that mental health, like what is that? What are you
Yeah,
talking about? You know, and now everybody's so open. I mean, not everyone,
yeah,
but way more people. Way more people. They're normalizing therapy, you know, everything. I love it. Some people use their platforms as therapy.
yeah,
That is just the best thing for me, especially because, you know, the situation I went through with my dad, a lot of people are aware that my dad committed suicide when I was 21 years old. Before that, when it happened, everybody's like, "Oh my god, like he was the happiest person. He would never do that." This, and I'm like, "You guys really don't know." Like, when he was around you guys, he was probably happy, you know. But he suffered from depression for a very long time, and like I used to tell him he used to tell me his thoughts, which was like the hardest thing for me. And I'm like,
yeah.
you should probably talk to somebody that knows this because you're just putting it on me. He's like, no, like all I need is you. Like we got this together.
Yeah, it's a whole lot, and and listen, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate you sharing that with us, and you know, you're right. Therapy comes a long way, and to people that are dealing with certain things, that are probably not aware of the mental health situation that they're going through. Know that there's help for you out there. Open up to your family members. Open up to a friend. And in most cases, people they open themselves up for help. Um, you're not alone. You're not alone. And people like yourself that were there for your family, your father. You'll be surprised. Those are the things that are gonna allow us to open up and seek the help that we need. Like, so don't take it lightly. Because it is a serious thing. I feel like that our parents probably dealt with mental health, but they didn't know how to cope with it. It's almost like they just had to kind of deal with it because they had to get up every morning and work and be there and be the providers, right?
You didn't have time to take off, you know, like take a nap if you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's especially it took me a while to be so open about how he passed away because,
Hmm.
you know, I was more so embarrassed of what happened. So when I remember it was September 10th, which is National Suicide Prevention Day.
Hmm.
And you know, I posted it on Instagram and I was like 100% transparent. Like this is what happened. You know, he was 40 years old, so people were like 40-year-olds are not just dropping dead out of nowhere. They were asking me and I didn't want to say anything. So once I started doing that and I started, you know, advocating for it more, a lot of people started reaching out to me and like telling me like, you know, I don't want as crazy as it's gonna sound, people would tell me, like, "I don't want my kids to feel the way that you feel. Like, thank you for expressing it." And that alone was enough for me.
Yeah.
If I stopped one person, but I think that by me being so open, it was very hard because, of course, people have questions and
Yeah.
I have to be transparent because I already threw this out into the world.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everyone was just on board with it. I had random people just come into suicide prevention walks
Yeah.
and things like that.
You being open about your experience in regards to your father, right? Um, you're actually allowing other people to share their stories and go and get the help that they need. So you are a progression and a prime example of the way your father perceived and looked at you and admired you for. He wouldn't want it any other way, I would say, because you're doing for other people what you were doing for him. And looking from above, I know that he appreciates that. And remember, in life, there's there's a difference between what you do and why you do it for. And I believe that everything has a purpose. So just know that you mean a lot to the community and everything that you do. And that needs to be highlighted. A proud Latin American, first generation, um, needs to be put on the forefront. And we thank you for all of that. Okay. So now helping small businesses is an amazing deed. It's an amazing deed. Okay. That obviously can't be overlooked. So, for small business owners and entrepreneurs that are established coming up, what are some tips that you may want to give them when they're starting their business at the beginning stages, right? Based on what you have seen, you know, visiting a lot of businesses. What tip or two you can give them to maneuver their business and help them be a better business moving forward? It might be the smallest thing, or it can be a big thing.
I just think that you should definitely still keep a job until your business is like completely off the ground. It's so hard right now. This economy is absolutely crazy and it
Hmm.
keeps getting worse. So you
Yeah.
can't really expect people to keep supporting you. And another thing is like people are just not going to support you.
Yeah.
Like it could be the closest person to you and they're not going to support you and you just can't focus on that.
Yeah.
Don't have any hard feelings. It's hard. It's honestly really hard. That's something that I had to, realize.
Yeah.
But focusing on people, you just want to focus more on the people that are supporting you rather than the people that are not.
Not supporting you. Yeah. So it's true. I mean, with we're for the people that are actually aware of what's going on in the world, and I'm not questioning whether you understand it or not. We are going through a lot of changes. We are going through an economic change, and it's not about just the cost of products and all of that going up. It's how we're making decisions every day to be efficient with our finances. Knowing what to do and how to spend our money is very important. And that's why I want to be able to say that on this platform with Meetings of the Minds is it's all about teaching people financial literacy. I want to be able to highlight that because I feel like a lot of our people they're not really aware of it. They need to be highly educated on some of these criterias and these topics because it's not talked about. All we talk about is what next sneakers we're gonna get, what cars is looks good in front of our garage, what clothes is moving. You know, yeah. Let's what's the next hookah spot? Oh, what Apple's coming out next? You know, do you have an Apple share? Are you invested? We don't talk about these things, right? So it's important for you to know. I always say it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, right? So be mindful of that. It is important for our people to know that there is an outlet and there's options for you to be able to maneuver your finances. And we will continue to provide information for them to be able to allocate their finances the way it should be because people say, well, I'm not making enough money. Well, yeah, that's true. You're not making enough money, but there's a lot of options for you to make side hustle money, right? Like you said, it's okay to keep your 9 to 5. You're absolutely right.
You're gonna need it. But the somebody said, or I heard it somewhere. Maybe it's a saying. Your 9 to 5 is supposed to support your 5 to
It's
9.
a yeah. It's a it's almost like your 9 to 5 supposed to kinda in essence, at the beginning stages of it, supposed to kinda, like, fund your right? Your business, and then the goal is for your business to replace your 9 to 5. Right? It's okay. I've done it in the past. I am still doing it because I have a goal. Guess what? If you got a side hustle or side business and you also have your 9 to 5, now you can leverage your money, which means that with your 9 to 5, you'll be able to pay your essentials and your bills, but then your side hustle, all that money should be invested. Because guess what's gonna pay you later on down the road? Your investments. You want to work I don't look at the paycheck that's coming in to go ahead and buy me something necessarily that I may not need. I look at money as like, okay, I'm gonna pay my bills and then I'm looking forward to knowing exactly how much more money I have to save, right? Or to invest. Or if I'm gonna have a side hustle, that money's gonna go straight to investments, right? Because that money's gonna work for me later on down the road. How can we help small businesses from financial and process points of view? What are some areas that can be assisted? Which means that um, as a business, right, you have an intro to your business. You have products. You might have distribution. You might have um, payrolls, things of that nature, right, that need to go into a business. Um, Professionalism, in which I've seen that you're based on my research. Kiana's very thing about professionalism, and I believe that she is absolutely right. Because some people don't know how to conduct their business, and you'd be surprised when people walk into your establishments or they look into your business. Um, Sometimes first impression is that it's all right. If I'm gonna go ahead and spend money in your business, I want to make sure that I'm treated fair and I'm treated with respect and professionalism because that's gonna allow other people to refer your business. How do you want to highlight some of that again to some of the people and maybe other things you might want to talk about?
The financial part about the businesses, I honestly have no, I have like a person that helps me with that. So
And that's
yeah,
okay
I don't
because
have any.
that's part of scaling business, by the way. Because at the end of the day, as a business owner and as a CEO, you hire CFOs, COOs. There's different departments in a business. So just because I am the CEO of a business doesn't mean that I'm going to handle everything, right? I'm going to hire other people to handle certain parts of my business, whether it's payroll, marketing, and then product delivery, right? So there's nothing wrong with that because there's people in position for that.
If you're a business owner, you don't need to do every single thing. Like sometimes you need help, you know. So there's always somebody that can help you. So always take the help. And for people, it's the nicest thing for you to support a small business. Like sometimes you get, coffee for the office, like order something from a small business. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And people, like, I don't know, I'm the type of person who likes personalized things, and like with a small business owner, 9 times out of 10 it could be super personalized.
Yeah.
Like this shirt.
That's fire. I like that shirt.
Right? This
That's
is
dope.
this was a small bit, well, he was a small business owner, Miguel,
Yeah.
Unique. You probably know him. He's my dad's friend too.
Unique. If I see him, I'll
He
probably
like,
recognize him.
he just got a picture of my dad on Facebook and he made this shirt. I was like, this is the sweetest thing ever. This is the nicest thing ever. So just support a small
Hmm.
business.
You know what? The whole point of you saying that right now. Because there's been times where I need to get certain things done, and it's like you're going around the whole world looking for a specific thing, and you can't find it because you can't get that exact person to do that, right? Because a lot of people do a lot of many things, but like, who am I gonna get to do something like
If
that?
you're looking for something and I don't know a specific person, I'm
Yeah,
gonna post it and then all of my followers are gonna say, you could get it here, you could get it here, you could get it here. I love that
yeah,
about my platform. I love that.
yep.
I created that.
And it's very true. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's true. That's what you've done for a lot of people,
I
and I
love
like that.
that.
I like that idea. I like the whole motto. Everything that you've done
Thank
throughout
you.
the years. I've seen that people really they're they really look forward to being on your page and look for
I
resources.
love
It's
it.
like you're like your own little Google. right? People just go into your page and they tag people, but that's how you're supposed to do it. You build a little community, right? So, and people really they admire you. They admire the work that you do.
I absolutely love it. Like I've met so many people, and I haven't. There's a lot of people that I haven't met that I literally only talk to on Instagram through the
Yeah,
small business page, and then I see people in person. I see people at events. I
yeah,
met some amazing people. Amazing, yeah.
yeah. Well, listen, that's how you build. That's how you build relationships. You're doing that type of community work with other people, and people looking up to you. It's like, yo, I like that. I like the way she
Oh,
maneuvers. You know?
oh my God. Speaking about that, the when I mean Unity, we always had supporters. Unity, but that was like Patterson.
Yeah.
So then when I started small businesses and J and I kind of like combined the two, it was so amazing. So amazing. I remember my first back to school event
Hmm.
after I started small businesses. Like I had businesses reaching out to me, people that I didn't even know, never met me in person, like
Yeah.
literally only saw my videos on Instagram and stuff like that, like sending me money just for the back to school event.
Yeah.
So like I had somebody sponsor an ice cream truck for the back to school event, bouncy houses. Like it was so much. It was so amazing combining both platforms
Yeah.
because these are small business owners, and then at the same time they want to help the city of Patterson where I'm from.
Yeah.
It was like it was the best even still.
Yeah, I mean, the Unity Foundation has done a lot of amazing events for the kids in
Yeah.
the community. So shout out to them. Shout out to
Shout out
you,
to
to Jordan.
Jordan.
Jordan,
Jordan
hats off to
Henry,
you, brother.
Officer Jordan Henry. Shout out
Yes,
to Officer
yes.
Jordan Henry. He is an
Respect to you.
amazing person.
Yes, he is. I seen Jordan come a long way. I personally know him from a
Yeah,
personal level, and I admire his work. And one thing I can say about him is that he stand on his word.
all the time.
You want to talk about somebody being about action?
That is Jordan.
Jordan, if I ever inspired you, just know that you have inspired me as well.
Jordan
So shout out
inspires
to him.
everyone. Absolutely
He
does.
does. I
I
like it. I
have,
like it a lot
yeah,
because it's like, again, in order for you to create changes, you have to be about changes. And you got to get in the forefront to create changes. And I feel that you both have done a lot of work, community work, to make those changes, because sometimes the talking, the conversations is one thing, but the actions is another
yeah.
thing, right? So
Jordan does so much that I don't even know about. And like it's not he's not the person to talk about it, stuff like that. I do want to know. Me. That's just
yeah.
me personally. I want
Hmm.
to know cuz I'm his vice president.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have kids come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, Jordan got me this. Jordan got me a coat. Jordan got me sneakers." I'm like, he did, like, that's so
Yeah.
nice. And like he doesn't even know those were my students. Like he doesn't even know. He's just like, any way that he can help, he does.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. I've seen him in so many different parts of his
Yeah.
life. Like now he's a dad, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, it's so beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't really know me. He knew of me, but he trusted me enough to be his VP
Yeah.
when he started Unity, and I was just so for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I mean, I
Yeah.
think like-minded individuals are going to connect just by default, right? You being in the educational system, if I may say, right, which I mean, I know I see that a lot of kids admire you.
Thank you.
How do you see the new generation? Like, how are they? Like,
I have a different love for this new generation because they went through online school.
mm,
I
yeah,
I don't know if you have ever taken a class online, or I can't imagine. I was forced to go online. I was at William Patterson. I was
yeah,
forced to go online when the pandemic hit, and that was like my hair was falling out.
yeah,
I was so stressed, and you think about it, you have 4 classes, like you see them twice a week.
yeah,
And these kids went through years of online school.
yeah,
Like I think that we need to be a lot more sensitive with them. That takes away communication skills,
yeah,
social skills.
which is
Like
important
some kids live in a very toxic environment and they had to stay in the house all the
and deal
time.
with that.
School was their escape, sports were their escape. All of that was put on pause. So, they are a handful. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I deal with a lot of clients, right? And when I do see parents coming in with their young kids to operate, legal documents and
Mhm.
transactions, right? I I feel like they're smart and intelligent in a whole different way. Um their sense of awareness about certain other things are a little bit different. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're different. It's like and I say this with respect, right? I say what, the percentage of the logic is very different, but they're very, very smart in a whole different way. Like it's to the point where some older generation people say, well, what's wrong with these kids? Well, there's nothing wrong with them. They just have more options. Oh, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do
They
that.
have way
They
more
they
options.
don't care about things. It's just they have more options that we did when we were growing up. They can learn a lot from social media. You can go on YouTube and get a whole education about anything that you want. So they don't need to
You
necessarily
could
go
learn how to
to.
cook on YouTube,
I've learned a lot
TikTok.
from YouTube.
I've learned so much. Like
Yeah,
well, my dad was in construction. Like he used to take
he
me
was
to
good
work.
at it.
Let's talk about small business
Natural.
owners having to take their kids to work.
Mm,
Okay. Now, before, when I was younger, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta wake up early.
yeah,
And sometimes like my dad, well, not sometimes, my dad was very quick. So he didn't really stay in the same house for too long because
yeah,
he'll spend the whole day in one house just to like wrap it up and do that.
yeah,
So I would go to like different people's houses and like, I would hear the women, is usually the women,
yeah,
telling my dad like I want this, like I want like their vision, and like
yeah.
watching my dad bring it to life was like, oh my God, you're the coolest person
Hey,
ever. Like how do you do that?
he's a
So
genius.
now that I have my apartment, I just like I love decorating it. And I'm inspired by everything that my dad did
A
before.
lot of DIYs.
Yeah. So, that's just so cool to me. So I learned how to do a lot of those things on YouTube, on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shout out to the social
people are
media
making
platforms.
businesses out of that. Just straight
Just showing
do
people how they're
and
doing things.
and what about like furniture flipping?
Oh, it's
They're
crazy. Yeah,
making
they're
money,
making
like they're
money.
making so much
Yeah,
money. So social media can be bad though. It can
it
be
can.
bad. They start recording fights, the bullying, all of that stuff, like
Yeah.
predators, pedophiles.
Parents, keep your eye on your kids.
Please.
Check their iPads, their computers once in a while. It's not about invading their privacy because obviously you want to give your kids some space because they're entitled to their privacy, but do not neglect the red
Mm.
flags. There's a lot of predators, like you said, and a lot of people that abuse the internet out there.
Yeah.
And allow your kids to get a break from the internet too. Give them a break. Break them out of it. Don't let them stay in the tablet all day.
Yeah, no,
You
some
know,
kids don't like going outside. Like, can I bring my computer outside?
no.
You're not bringing your computer outside. You're
Look
gonna
at the
run.
trees,
You're
play.
gonna run. You're gonna play. Like, you're
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah. And you know what? And it's crazy. It's easy for us to fall into that because we're like there with it too.
Hmm.
But give allow your kids to be part of nature, even in the simplest forms.
Hmm.
Even if it's to take a walk to the ice cream shop, little things like that, to the park.
Yeah.
Take the phones away. Give the kids a schedule, right? I would say maybe Monday to Friday,
I
you know.
I'm not a parent, so I don't
Yeah.
like to like.
Well, for the people that are parents,
He's a dad, so listen to him. I'm not
yeah.
giving any
Yeah,
parenting
listen to me because I'm a
advice.
dad. So, yeah, here I go. I'm actually, talking like a dad right now. But for the parents out there, right, and business owners that are parents, because we're so busy with our businesses that we might be missing pointers on how to keep an eye on our kids. Make sure that you keep that in mind, right? So, yeah, because there's some creeps out there in the world, and
Yes.
it's something to watch out for, right? So, yeah, it was a pleasure having you here on the show.
Thank you.
It won't.
Thank you for having me though. I'm honored to be
Thank you
here.
very much, and I hope that we can any little small or big things that we talk about is to just, in essence, is to motivate others. If again, make sure that you follow Small Business NJ, right? What other platforms can people follow you at the moment?
Um, yeah, Instagram is
It's the
my thing.
main.
Like I'm on Facebook. If I were to tell you I know how to work it, I absolutely don't know. I know how to work Facebook, but not the business
Yeah,
Facebook. So I'm small businesses
yeah,
NJ, and that's Instagram.
and that's Instagram.
Hmm.
Okay, and make sure you guys follow Unity Foundation, right? That's the
Yeah, that's
page.
Unity underscore Foundation 23.
23. There you go. Make sure you guys follow them. Follow the organization, follow everything that they do good for the community. It's very important. Get involved. If you have any questions, if you are a business owner and you have any questions or you need to highlight your business, make sure you guys get with Kiana. She's going to be able to assist you.
Thank
If
you.
you have any questions in regards to meetings of the minds and what we're going to provide to our society, our community, make sure that you guys follow at meetings of the minds double underscore. We're on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at the moment. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, Kiana, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right? Peace.